History rarely announces itself when it changes direction. There is no alarm, no countdown, no official declaration. Yet when future generations look back, they will not remember 2026 as the year everything changed. They will remember 2025 because 2025 was not a year of conclusions, it was a year of decisions, silent ones, irreversible ones. Today on Wikivedia Plus, we will uncover the events of 2025 that are already shaping the future of the world in 2026. Let us dive in. At first glance, 2025 appeared chaotic but familiar. Wars without resolution, elections without unity, economies growing on paper while societies fractured underneath. But beneath the surface, something deeper was happening. The global system was no longer trying to fix itself, it was quietly rearranging itself. One of the most critical shifts of 2025 was not about a single war, but about how wars were fought, funded, and justified. For decades, global conflicts followed a predictable pattern: clear fronts, clear alliances, clear endings. In 2025, that pattern finally collapsed. Conflicts became permanent states rather than temporary crises. Wars were no longer meant to be won, but managed. And when instability becomes profitable, peace becomes optional. At the same time, the global balance of power shifted not through dramatic confrontations, but through exhaustion. The United States remained powerful, but stretched. Its influence was no longer absolute, but conditional. Allies began asking a question they had not dared to ask before. What if American leadership is no longer guaranteed? China, meanwhile, did not rush to replace anyone. Instead, it expanded silently, through trade corridors, technology standards, and long-term infrastructure commitments. While headlines focused on military tensions, the real battlefield of 2025 was economic dependence. Countries realized that sovereignty means little if supply chains, energy, and data flows are controlled elsewhere. Europe entered 2025 with confidence and left it with uncertainty. Political unity weakened, economic growth slowed, and strategic autonomy remained more slogan than reality. For the first time since the Cold War, Europe was preparing not for expansion, but for survival. Perhaps the most underestimated event of 2025 was the collapse of trust. Trust in institutions, trust in media, trust in elections, trust in truth itself. Artificial intelligence advanced faster than regulation, and information became indistinguishable from manipulation. By the end of the year, societies were no longer divided by ideology alone, but by entirely different perceptions of reality. This erosion of shared truth is what makes 2026 so dangerous, because a world that cannot agree on facts cannot prevent conflict, it can only react to it. Economically, 2025 marked the end of the illusion of recovery. Inflation slowed, but inequality deepened. Markets stabilized, but living standards did not. Governments learned an uncomfortable lesson: you can stabilize numbers without stabilizing lives. This disconnect fueled political radicalization across continents, not because people became more extreme, but because moderation stopped delivering results. Another defining shift of 2025 was the rise of strategic neutrality. More countries refused to pick sides, not out of morality, but calculation. They learned that alignment brings obligations, while ambiguity brings leverage. This shattered the old idea of a binary world. The future is no longer East versus West, it is everyone for themselves. And this is the true inheritance of 2025, a world where cooperation is conditional, alliances are transactional, and principles are flexible. So what does this mean for 2026? It means 2026 will not be explosive, but unstable. Not a year of world war, but a year where small decisions trigger disproportionate consequences. A year where economic shocks travel faster than diplomacy, where regional conflicts have global prices, and where political mistakes are amplified instantly. 2026 will reward adaptability, not strength. Resilience, not dominance. Foresight, not reaction. Those who fail to understand what 2025 truly was will misread everything that comes next. Because history doesn't move in years, it moves in patterns, and 2025 was the year the pattern changed. This is not the end of the story, it is the setup. The question is no longer who will rule the world, but who will survive its transformation. So now we ask you, which event of 2025 do you believe will matter most in the years to come, and what future do you think it is leading us toward? Share your thoughts, suggest the next topic you want us to uncover, and if you're still searching for understanding in a world that's constantly shifting, make sure to subscribe. Because the next chapter is already being written, and we'll be there to decode it.